Hello, everybody. This is Emmy Brooks of East Alabama Mental Health Center, Prevention Services Department. Today, we are going to talk about teen anxiety. It's just going to be a short one, I promise you. It is just to learn how to identify and cope with it. All right, you guys are ready? Okay, first off, before we proceed to talking about anxiety, I just want everybody to know and to think that if you guys are experiencing and or having anxiety, it is not totally your fault. It is not something that you did wrong. Okay, just bear that in mind. It is not something that you did wrong. Now, what is anxiety? I have a few definitions here of different kinds or types of anxiety. Separation anxiety to begin with. It is when you feel very afraid when you are away from your parents. And I'm pretty sure each one of us had experienced separation anxiety. It's not just from parents, but from friends, from family and relatives, from your partners. Okay. Next would be phobia, and that is an extreme fear about a specific thing or situation. Social anxiety, it is when you feel very afraid in your school or when you go to other places where you think bad things may happen. Next would be general anxiety. That is when you feel so worried about things or bad things that may happen in the future. The last one I have here is panic disorder. It is an experienced habitual episodes of sudden, unexpected, and intense fear. Now, let me speak about a few facts about anxiety. Anxiety disorder is one of the most common mental disorders here in the US. There are many types of anxiety disorders, which I have given you a few examples prior to this slide. According to World Health Organization, 1 in 13 individuals around the world suffer from anxiety, and which about 8% of these would be children and teenagers. Over 40 million adults experience an anxiety disorder each year. That's a lot. Anxiety disorders can develop for a number of reasons, including genetics, brain chemistry, and most especially life events. Only about a third of those suffering from anxiety receive treatment. And that's where you have to realize that having anxiety, not the normal kind of anxiety, needs a specific treatment from a professional. So it's not just about talking to a friend, but about talking to a professional who can actually give you treatment. Okay? And again, those suffering from anxiety disorders are not alone. So think about that. If you guys think that you have anxiety disorders, please, you are not alone. Okay? So you have people you can talk to. Now, when is anxiety considered normal? Right now, I'm speaking in front of a crowd, or I would say, it's pre-recorded, but if I was speaking in front of a crowd, I would feel nervous. I would feel anxiety. That's normal. How about changing relationships? If you broke up with your partner, that would also be considered anxiety, right? It's normal. It's a normal feeling. Making decisions, especially when you have to make big decisions, life kind of situations, in a life situation, I'm sorry, that would also trigger some anxiety. But most of the time is normal. Making decisions would give you a normal kind of anxiety. Now let's try to differentiate anxiety from anxiety disorders. A normal reaction to stress or difficult times, that's a normal anxiety. When it is triggered by a specific stressor, that's a normal anxiety. When it has a starting point or an ending point, it is normal. If some kind of a motivational thing could help you, that's normal. Usually it lessens significantly or disappears away from a stressful situation. Anxiety, um, if you have things that will help you relax or feel better, it's normal. And anxiety, it's a response to a toxic situation. Now, anxiety disorder, on the other hand, it often comes out of nowhere. It's just like it strikes just whenever it wants to. You don't have any control. It's intense or disproportionate emotional responses there. It's ongoing and it lasts for weeks or even months. This disorder usually interferes with your day to day life, which means that if you experience anxiety disorder, you might be in a situation where you don't want to go to school anymore, you don't want to go to work anymore, you just don't want to do anything. Now, physical symptoms include sweating, trembling, lightheadedness, racing heartbeat, and usually it is so impossible to control or manage yourself. Now, teens, try to identify the source of your anxiety. Try to identify whether you are safe or if you are in a dangerous situation. Try to identify some coping skills. Now, let me just broaden that a little bit, okay? Trying to identify the source of anxiety, whether if you're safe or if you're in a dangerous situation. The first thing you need to do if you think you're in a dangerous situation is what? Seek safety immediately. If you are not in a dangerous situation and still feel anxious, try to take a few of the steps like is there a problem to be solved? Or let's say, for example, if you are anxious about an upcoming test, you could make a study plan that could actually lessen your anxiety. If you're ready to take the test, of course you've studied, so it would make you feel less anxious compared to when you don't study. If there is no problem to be solved, or if you took steps to solve the problem and still feel anxious, try a strategy to get through the moment. For example, you may choose to do something you normally enjoy doing, even though you are anxious. Let's say, get your phone, watch a funny video or funny online video clip. Try to talk to a friend, go for a walk, or go for an exercise. Or you may also try to choose a self soothing activity. If I feel anxious sometimes, or most of the time, I would listen to the music. Take a deep breath. If you have pets that would help you relieve your anxiety, play with your pet. Or look at pleasant photos, bring back some good memories. And a few examples of coping skills would also be engaging in enjoyable activity. Try to engage yourself in some activities that you enjoy most. If you play sports, feel if you feel happy playing sports, if you feel relaxed when you go walking, and try to talk to a trusted friend or to a trusted adult. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to talk to your parent, somebody whom you can trust, even your teachers or your guidance counselors. Now, easy ways to deal with anxiety. Number one, of course, be relaxed, as what I said earlier. Number two, try to take deep breaths whenever you feel anxious. And number three, which I don't really do, get enough sleep. It will help you. Eat healthy diet. Try to connect yourself with others, friends, families, and connect yourself with nature as well. It makes you feel relaxed when you just like step out and take a deep breath and look at the trees, the nature, take for a walk, hike if you can. Go to the beach, beach therapy. And of course, thinking happy thoughts. is usually one of the best remedy to relieve your anxiety. All right. And that would be the end of our discussion about teen anxiety. I have a national helpline available for everybody who needs help, or if you know anybody, a friend who may need help. I have here 800-662 HELP, HELP. Again, it's 1-800-662-4357, and that's the SAMHSA's national helpline number. If you know anybody, or if you are in need of help, they are there to help you. You can talk to an anonymous, or you can talk anonymously. Try to seek help. That's the only way you can deal with an anxiety disorder. All right, so that would be the end of today's discussion. I hope you guys learned something, and you guys have a great day.